Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the Brazos Valley. My name is Reverend Kiya. My pronouns are she, they, and we want to welcome you all here with us today. We're going to have some fun and be crazy and talk about science and spirituality in the same breath. How cool is that? You. But we're going to start out. So we took a bunch of people, maybe 23, to see the Odyssey last week. So our first hymn is in honor of that. We're going to sing number 162. Gonna lay down my sword shake hands around the world. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, everywhere I go. Gonna shake hands around the world. Everywhere I go, gonna study war no more. Ain't 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 gonna study war no more. So those of y'all who don't know this song, you do by now, I think, probably. This is your opportunity, because we are not a watch people sing. We are a sing people sing. Ready? Gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside. Study war no more. Ain't gonna 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 study war no more. Thank you, love and joy.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the Brazos Valley, UUCBV, or Brazos UU for short. My name is Kat Wild. My pronouns are she, they. We are a welcoming congregation, which means that we celebrate and welcome all people across diversities of race, gender, sexual identities, age, ability, immigration status, and belief. We are also a congregation that is working towards reproductive justice. So whoever you are, wherever you have come from, wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here.
Our call to worship this morning comes from Nathaniel Wyeth, who's a famous physicist. He said, "I'm convinced that the best solutions are often the ones that are counterintuitive, that challenge conventional thinking and end in breakthroughs. It's always easier to do things the same old way. Why change? To fight this, keep your dissatisfaction index high and break with tradition. Don't be too quick to accept the way things are being done. Question whether there's a better way. Very often, you will find that once you make this break from the usual way, and incidentally, this is probably the hardest thing to do, and start on a new track, your horizon of new thoughts immediately broadens. New ideas flow in like water. Always keep your interests broad. Don't let your mind be stunted by a limited view." Nathaniel Wyeth.
Alrighty, now it is time to light our chalice. I'd like to invite Jimmy up to light the chalice this morning. You want to help light the chalice? Alrighty, the chalice lighting words should be on the screen if you'd like to say them with me. We light the chalice, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, as a beacon of hope for all who seek justice, dignity, and compassion, and in celebration of the life of truth and meaning we share together. Now, all please join me in saying our affirmation statement. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
As Unitarian Universalists, we believe that there is a spark of the divine in all the beings on the earth, everything, all of it, including us. And so this is your opportunity to do a very Unitarian Universalist thing and say howdy to the other divine sparks in the room, and I will let you know when it's over with a very loud gong. Have at it.
Is fun.
It's a perfect song for Odyssey.
Yeah. Good morning. My name is Allison Faber, and I am the Director of Religious Education here at UUCBV. I'm so happy to be with you. Okay, so we have a lot of visitors today. I promise nobody cheers for me every week. I am so lucky to work in a congregation that really values not having their staff burn out. So I have the month of July off every year. So this is my first Sunday in a while. So that is why, because we have a lot of visitors. All right, and every year when I come back from my July month off, it is time to start the RE year again. So all of my kiddos and younger people in the audience, we are having RE today after our Time for All Ages, which I'm so excited about. So today, our Time for All Ages is going to be from Gail Forsyth Vale, who's a beloved religious educator in the UU world. And this has been called a UU creation story. We'll see what you think. And it was presented at General Assembly in June. It is called Primordial Soup. And as I share Gail's writing, please close your eyes, or if you are a need-to-move person, you can do this on your chest, like your heartbeat. Maybe a lot fast if you're like nervous. Or you can also meditate on this wonderful album cover of a Turkish psychedelic funk band I really like. Because this is called Primordial Soup, and the band is AJ, and it's from 2024. If you're into psychedelic funk, Primordial Soup might be your jam. All right, breathe in and out. Oops. Be still. Feel your heart beating rhythmically. You might even find yourself dun, 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 dun. Imagine your blood moving along through your arteries, small cells, each with a nucleus, each containing the map that makes them a part of you. Each cell bumping and twisting, moving along, endless transfer of energy and nutrients as your blood cells deliver oxygen to all parts of your body. And in that endless motion is the story of our beginnings, the story of how we came from an ancient primordial soup. Once upon a time, 5 billion years ago, our solar system was new by universe standards, and energy was flying everywhere. The Earth was a swirling ball of hot lava, hotter than you can even imagine. It was made mostly of hydrogen, with some helium and some oxygen. The seas glowed and swirled, and ancient volcanoes spewed forth lava from the center of the Earth. The Earth was bombarded day after day with comets and meteors, making things even hotter. Meteorites brought with them particles from space, dust from the explosions of stars. Carbon, nitrogen, and water. And in that heat, at that high temperature, the water turned to steam and gathered around our planet. Over time, the meteor crashes slowed down and the Earth began to cool. It was a great day when Earth cooled enough for all that steam to become water. And it rained. And it rained, and it rained, and it rained for millions of years. It rained. The oceans of the Earth filled to the brim. When the oceans were filled, was it calm and still? No, not on your life. Not on our collective lives. The oceans swirled, and the molecules left behind by meteors and comets began to bump together. There was a most spectacular lightning storm, one that lasted millions of years. From other parts of the universe, energy from other parts of the universe transferred to the Earth's oceans. The molecules began to clump and hook themselves together in 2s and 3s, and then in whole colonies, chains of carbon. The first RNA. And these carbon chain colonies ate hydrogen, at first from the bubbles that came from the volcanoes on the ocean's floor. And when they had eaten all the free hydrogen there was, they figured out how to split apart the water molecules and eat the hydrogen from them. The carbon chains began to move on their own. They were alive. They were living bacteria. Life had barely begun on our planet when it created a pollution problem for itself. When the living bacteria split apart the H2O to eat hydrogen, they released oxygen into the atmosphere. The leftover oxygen was poison for the first life on Earth. Bacteria began to die off rapidly. About 2,400 million years ago, it looked like life on Earth was finished. But the moving and bumping, the whirling and swirling, the thunder and lightning, it all continued. Two bacteria merged together. One was swallowed by another and became its center, the nucleus, the protector of the RNA. A eukaryote was formed, which I did look up the pronunciation for, so I hope that was right. But still, there was that problem with the oxygen-filled atmosphere until some oxygen-eating bacteria, the mitochondria, came to the rescue. They began eating all the poison oxygen and turning it into energy. And in the middle of the bumping and moving, whirling and swirling thunder and lightning primordial soup, something happened that saved life on Earth. The eukaryotes and mitochondria joined forces. The mitochondria moved into the eukaryotes and began turning oxygen into energy, becoming the engines for what became cells with what we now call DNA. And in the midst of the whirling and swirling, the bumping and jostling, the cells joined together. 700 million years ago, the clumps became jellyfish and worms and an ancient creature called a trilobite, which had a kind of eye. Cells began to take on special jobs so that some did the eating and some were the garbage disposal and some did the looking out for danger and some did the work of moving around. So our primordial soup teemed with life. And that life would continue to bump and jostle and create even more complicated clumps and colonies and beings. And it has never been still, even unto this day when the whirling and swirling, clumping and sharing, energy eating and energy using restless motion, all of this happens inside of all of us. We are born of carbon and hydrogen and oxygen, of stardust brought by meteors, of water raining down, of the joining of bacteria and eukaryotes and mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. We are born of motion and energy and chaos and danger and cooperation. This is our inheritance. It's also our beginning. And it is with us still, even, you can feel it right here, in our own bodies. Now, if you are new here, this is the time in our service when all the younger folks come with me to religious education. But if you're a visitor, or you just don't want to go, you can always stay with your grown-ups. So no pressure at all. I'll meet you at the back door. And will all of you please sing us out with this little light of mine?
With this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Thank you all. We're going to have a movie.
Probably heard of the Higgs boson, right? People even call it the God particle. But what actually is it? Back in the 1960s, physicists had this huge problem. Why do some particles, like electrons, have mass, while light particles, photons, don't? I mean, without mass, nothing would stick together. No atoms, no planets, no us. The solution was this idea of the Higgs field. Picture it like an invisible energy jelly that fills the whole universe. As particles move through it, some get slowed down, kind of like pushing through molasses. That slowing down is what we call mass. Photons, they just glide straight through, which is why they're massless. Now, here's where the Higgs boson comes in. The boson is like a ripple in that invisible field. If the field is the ocean, the boson is a wave you can actually detect. But what exactly is this particle? The Higgs boson is the tiniest chunk, the quantum, of the Higgs field. Just like light has photons, little packets of the electromagnetic field, the Higgs field has Higgs bosons. Detecting one is like finding a single droplet and proving the whole ocean is real. So you've probably heard of the Higgs boson, right?
This is the time in our service where we have candle lighting. If you are new, just watch everybody else and follow along. But you can light a candle for your joys and your concerns. I know some people are having surgery. There are people who are getting well from things. There are people who are waiting for their babies. There are all kinds of things to be praying for if you are a praying person. And otherwise, it's a really good time to sit and listen to some nice music and think about your life. And I will let you know when it's over. But those of y'all who are going to sing, we're going to sing at number 100, but we're not going to pay any attention to the music, and we're playing it a completely different way. But if you want the words, 100. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. Pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. Like rainbows. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops in my soul. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops in my soul. I've got tears. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops in my soul. Strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain. I thought you needed some time to think about the Higgs boson because it's kind of like a little thick if you're not a scientist. But the poet Muriel Rocket says, the universe is made of stories, not atoms. Well, actually, I think it may be both stories and atoms and little particles as well. We are speaking today of the place where science and spirituality meet, not as enemies or in a binary, but as companions in wonder and awe. Fritjof Capra, in his book, The Tao of Physics, summarized it like this. Quantum theory reveals a basic oneness of the universe. It shows that we cannot decompose the world into independently existing smallest units. The mystic and the physicist arrive at the same conclusion. One starting from the inner realm, the other from the outer world. End quote. In Western Aristotelian thinking, a thing is either true or false, but both in quantum reality, both. And in lots of religious thinking, things are more complicated than just left and right, yes and no, right or wrong. It depends. Everybody say, it depends. Oh, thank you. That's exactly where we're going. So a lot of Eastern schools of Buddhism and Hinduism and Taoism reject the binary. So what's the big deal? What's a God particle? What's the Higgs field? What's Higgs boson? Well, the universe needs mass to make atoms, and atoms create everything material that we see around us, our bodies, stars, planets, trees, music. So in spirit talk, the ordinary world depends on these invisible things. The ordinary world depends on invisible things. We're sitting in a country that has thoughts behind it, right? Some of the thoughts are being eroded in the current moment. Like there are people who think that we're not connected, that they can have all the money and all the power and everything, and everybody's going to just sit back and go, yes, thank you, we'll starve, no problem. I think they will have a problem with that. So the ordinary world depends on the invisible things that the scientists support but couldn't verify. They supposed it was true that there was something that the atoms were made of that had weight, but they couldn't prove it. It took them 30 years from the 60s, when it was a thought that it might be the reason, to actually proving it. So the scientists at CERN, the world's largest particle physics library, confirmed the Higgs boson, or what was called the God particle, in 2012. Let me just tell you why they call it that. So this guy wrote a book, and he wanted to call it because it was such a pain in the butt to figure out the God particle thing, the Higgs boson. It was such a pain in the butt, he wanted to call his book The God Particle. So his publishers went, I don't think that'll sell. So they call it the God particle, which is why everyone gets confused, and it's like it doesn't prove God exists or doesn't exist. Doesn't prove it doesn't exist, doesn't prove it exists. Just proves that something has weight, and they figured out what it is, and that it makes people sleep better. Okay. So yeah, Peter Higgs is the one who thought it up in 1964, which is why it's called Higgs boson. But the God particle thing is from the book by a Nobel laureate, Leon Lederman, and he really did want to call his book The God Particle. But the publishers thought, I don't think so. So as Unitarian Universalists, we sometimes are suspicious of invisible things. How many people are a little suspicious of the things that you can't prove? That's why you're here. We're 80% oppositional defiant. We are. We're mostly outsiders, too. And we're very sure that we're special. These are the things they tell us in seminary that, usually we're not supposed to repeat. I'm just telling you, that's what they told us. All right. We see invisible ideas used to justify oppression. True. We've heard certainty. I am sure this is how it is. And they hit the pulpit too. All right. Ow. We've heard certainty masquerading as faith. So we rightly ask questions. We ask questions. That's what we are. We are the people of the question. But science itself reminds us that the deepest realities are often unseen. Gravity, invisible. Justice, invisible. Love, only by actions is visible. Music, can't see it unless you have a particular kind of instrument. Higgs field, invisible, but each leaves unmistakable traces. Perhaps faith is less about believing impossible things than learning to notice invisible realities by the lives they create. We'll know by your works. We will know by your works. The Higgs field gives particles mass. We are the way for the cosmos to know itself. That's what Carl Sagan said. And the mystics might answer, we are the way for love to know itself. Different language, shared wonder. So one of the great things about Unitarian Universalism is we don't have a problem. We don't need the binary to be science over here and faith over here. And faith, not the Christian way of thinking about faith, but faith as in believing in things that you can't prove, but feel right, following your intuition, listening to your spirit. That works in many, many different faiths, and certainly in mine. So we do not force people to choose between scientific truth and spiritual meaning. Instead, we ask, what does this discovery invite us to become? So one of the paths that I particularly like to rely on is the Lakota, the Sioux, some people call them. That means enemy in Paiute. So Lakota is a nicer way of saying it. Amiate Wosan, which means we are all related, or all my relatives, which science is saying. We are all made of the same stuff. Our DNA, y'all are almost exactly like a fruit fly. This is important information because things appear to be different. It appears that our MAGA brothers and sisters are over here and we are not the same species, but I assure you that is not true. We are all the same on a certain level. And when you're really, really down and you're really, really feeling it like you are all alone in the world, I promise you, you are not. Other people feel the same way. You are just honest enough to actually look at it and not numb yourself. You're paying attention. I got pain like an arrow. In deep ecology, the principle that we are all connected and influence each other is backed by physics, as well as 1,000 years of religious thought, at least 1,000, maybe 5,000, maybe 10,000 if you're Neolithic. We are literally all made of the same stuff. The Higgs bosons manifest this in infinite combinations. We are literally all related. Literally, and physics now has proven it. It's true, because you can influence even little particles. Isn't that trippy? I think it's cool. This is sort of challenging. Try to explain it in a way that makes sense to people and doesn't sound like you're absolutely insane, Kiya. A quantum particle exists in a superposition of multiple potential states simultaneously. That's the scientific talk, but let me say it one more time slow. A quantum particle exists in a superposition of multiple potential states simultaneously. In other words, there are more universes than just the one we're in, all happening simultaneously. I love that idea. It makes me really happy, but it makes some other people go into existential crisis. So you all get comfortable with the fact that things are not the way they seem to our little monkey bodies. We are found in relationship. What keeps us from becoming isolated individuals flying endlessly through space? Mass, physical. It's found in relationship. Love gives weight to our lives. Compassion grounds us. Commitment gives shape to our days. Think about someone you have loved deeply. They changed your trajectory. Can I get a witness? Yes. Love changes everything. Not by force, not by command, simply by existing in relationship with you. Two people sort of look like they're independent, they get together, changes both their lives. I'm not evaluating whether it's a good combination or a bad combination. The universe built for connection. Modern physics paints an astonishing picture. Nearly every atom in your body was forged inside ancient stars. The calcium in your bones, the oxygen in your lungs, the iron in your blood, the gold in wedding rings, all born in exploding suns billions of years ago. Billions of years ago. Buddhism reminds us that an entire universe exists inside a single flower. The Jewish tradition teaches that saving one life is like saving an entire world. Indigenous wisdom often tells us that every stone, stream, and creature carries sacred significance, different traditions, one reoccurring truth. In universalism, you're supposed to try. This is a practice. That's why we're not good at it yet. Look at people and try to see their Buddha nature or their divine spark. Try to find it and encourage it. That is the trickiest part. So I've been studying up about the bodhisattva vows and stuff, and so you're supposed to, when you have trouble with someone, you're supposed to feel sorry that they are not actualizing their Buddha nature, but that you want to encourage them toward it. That sounds like the Dalai Lama to me. I'm like, can I do that? I don't know. I'm going to try. Because practice is how we get there. So we have to practice. We have to practice being a community. We have to practice being tolerant of each other's individual manifestations of their bosons. All right. The discovery of the Higgs boson didn't end science. It opened new questions. Good science does that. Good spirituality does that. Good religion should too. Whatever faith claims it has every answer, it becomes dangerous, stagnant, like a pool full of mosquito larvae, right? It's got to move. The water's got to move. We have to move. We are changing beings, whether you like it or not. A full heart is no place to put pain and stubbornness. It's time to open up and move. Let's go for new growth, the change that works on progress and understanding. Perhaps the greatest miracle is not that science discovered one more particle. Perhaps the miracle is that the universe is intelligible enough for curious creatures made of stardust to discover it. Hey, we get to discover ourselves. Yeah, I can get behind that. We are the universe becoming conscious. We are ancient hydrogen learning to sing. May we never lose our capacity for wonder. May we continue to ask brave questions. May all the scientists in the room not come up afterwards and tell me what a terrible job I did explaining this. May we remember that the smallest act of kindness can hold together an entire world. And may we live as though every person who meets carries within a spark of the same mysterious universe that gave birth to the stars. Just try it every other day. Okay? Thank you. There's nothing to sing, y'all. We're not singing now.
We're not doing Soon the Day Will Arrive, or are we skipping it? Or?
Oh, let's do it. I'm sorry.
No. It's number 146.
Yeah, today we're not doing anything the way it's always been done. I don't know if you figured that out yet. And I got so excited that I skipped what I was supposed to do. Which happens. Soon the day will arrive when we will be together, and no longer will we live in fear.
And the children will smile without wondering whether on that day thunderclouds will appear. Wait and see what a world there can be if we share, if we care, you and me. Wait and see what a world there can be
if we share,
if we care, you and me.
Some have dreamed, some have died to make a bright tomorrow, and our vision remains in our hearts. Now the torch must be passed with new hope, not in sorrow, and a promise to make a new start. Wait and see what a world there can be if we share, if we care, you and me. Wait and see what a world there can be if we share,
if we care, you and me.
Love and joy, saving my butt once again.
So now let an offering be taken to sustain and strengthen this place, which is sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and of hope, for we are now the keepers of the dream. This church shares the proceeds of the offering plate donation every week to help support important nonprofit organizations with which we work. The 4 groups that we voted to support with this year's donations are Tiny Hope Village, the Brazos Interfaith Immigration Network, the Pride Center, and Brazos Valley Blessings. We vote on this every May at the congregational meeting, so please be as generous as you can be.
So I'm going to sing you a new song, and I'm not using paper, so we'll see how it goes. Too many cuts and scars here. It's like I'm left out in the rain. I like to think I'm healing, but I'm just not the same. I pour the gold into the cracks to make a stronger seam. I keep studying the lessons, but I don't know what they mean. Point me to the Badlands. Drums will heal me if they can. I am your dog soldier. Here I make my stand. A crown of stars above our heads, native to this land. In the Badlands, our love was so consistent, honest, real, and true. When I lose my direction, I point my heart to you. You're my steady compass, you're my guiding hand. In the Badlands, maybe we're both broken, the truth is front and set. Discarded and discounted, won't believe we are finished yet. Can we make a rally? Come back from behind. Keep our heading steady. One more time. Point me to the Badlands. Drums will heal us if they can. I am your dog soldier. Here I'll make my stand. A crown of stars above our heads, native to this land. In the Badlands. Well, I've always loved the desert, such a deeper sky. Oh, bless us in this darkness, bless us as we try. You carried so much beauty, fire. You carried so much beauty, a fire in your eyes. Through the Badlands, through the Badlands.
We give thanks for these gifts we have given, for those you receive, and for each other. So may your generosity return to you tenfold. So you have some announcements today. First, on August 15th, which is a Saturday, we have our next swap meet coming up. Because it is August and it is very, very, very hot outside, we will be starting that swap meet at 8:30 in the morning. So if you're bringing stuff, please bring it on Friday, because we're going to be setting up for that because it'll be earlier in the day. I don't know yet. I wasn't told, but Sarah said we're getting ready on Friday. 6 o'clock. Okay. Secondly, we still have our raffle going for our current art gallery. So if you've seen that little picture on the corkboard where the name tags are, there's the egret painting. There are still raffle tickets available. We're doing that raffle on the 15th as well. We also have Philosophy Club returning this Wednesday, August 5th. They're starting up again for the fall. This week they will be showing a movie and discussing it called Kimberly Crenshaw, The Woman Who Invented Intersectionality. So that is Wednesday at 6:30, right, Jeff? Yes, 6:30. And then lastly, we have gone through our next 6 months of worship teams. So we have started up worship team signups again. So if you would like to do worship team for throughout August, there'll be signups for that. So we have the positions of what I do, and since I'm going off to seminary in a couple of weeks, then if you really want, I was going to try to talk through it. If you really want to sign up for worship assistant, there are definitely going to be slots available. So if you're interested in that, I encourage you to sign up. It's a lot of fun. And that is all of our announcements. So now it is time to extinguish the chalice. Please join me in this chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we gather together again.
Please sing with me if you choose to. This is our benediction. Remember the way of the wind, and breathe and blow. Remember the way of the fire, and sparkle and glitter and glow. Remember the way of the water, and ebb and flow. Remember the way of the earth and grow. Go in peace.